As a business person, the first skill you must learn is the skill of selling. Because if you're doing business and money is not flowing in, you're wasting your time. And the only way to keep money flowing is through selling.
Why?
No other way. So I would rather have a problem of too much inflow and then I don't have enough structure to sustain it than have a problem of having a structure and there is no inflow of cash. That is the most foolish thing to do as a business owner. Everybody sells, but not everybody sells consciously. So some people, their selling is unconscious selling.
Unconscious selling.
And unfortunately, if you don't sell consciously, you will not know when you undersell yourself. So you may be a person or a product that is valued at a premium price, but because your selling is not a conscious one, you will be underpriced.
I've grown my business to a particular extent, and it's more or less like I've plateaued. And because I was doing everything, he said I was selling all of that to grow it past that level, and it's not possible. What do you think the person is doing wrong?
I think the number one thing the person is doing wrong is that he's truthful to me. Let's assume now that God decides to remove hell from the equation.
No more hellfire.
No more hellfire. Boy, live your life.
Live your
Do
life.
whatever you're doing. Will you still be a Christian?
No more fear.
So if God uses fear factor to keep his children, there's absolutely nothing wrong for entrepreneurs to use fear factor to keep their customers. And the fear is absolutely legitimate. How would you feel that the end of this world, you end up going and you discover that there was actually nothing like hell? In Nigeria, the government does not care when you are suffering. The government only cares when you have become somebody. And when you have become somebody in the business field, they are coming for you. You know why? Because they now know that you have the opportunity to shape opinions. And because they don't want you to shape opinions, and you have some level of database to use, some level of followership, unfortunately, they are coming to take you unless you join them.
If anybody didn't take away anything from this message today, what's the cost of not taking away the message?
You die average.
Most businesses are struggling, and not because people don't have the money to buy, but because they don't understand human behavior. Today, we're not going to be discussing motivation. We're going to be dissecting one of the reasons why many businesses struggle to generate revenue and sales for their business. My guest here is a guru that's going to do justice to today's discussion. Welcome to Seller Meditate, where we bring you powerful minds to challenge your thinking on money, power, and systems that shape your life. If it's your first time coming to the channel and you value what we do here, hit the subscribe button, like this video, and turn on post notification. So make welcome my very powerful sales guru.
Thank you.
Udochukwu Chikwendu. It's a great pleasure.
Nice to have you.
Great pleasure to have you today.
It's my
Thank
pleasure.
you so much. Thank you so much.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Yeah, I want us to be dissecting deeply on sales. You know, you are a sales guru, like people call you. Now, for someone that doesn't know you and wants to listen to this podcast for like 1 hour, 2 hours or so, in 1 minute, 3 minutes, can you break down the reason why they should pay attention to you?
Okay, number one is that your growth depends on maybe what we are going to share here today. The future of your business definitely depends on what you are sharing here today. The quality of your family lifestyle will depend on what we are sharing here today. The quality of the legacy you are going to leave behind afterwards may also depend on what you are going to be sharing here today. So stick around and watch. I believe it's to your own benefit after this session.
I like that. The quality of your life depends on what you're going to be sharing here today.
Yes, of
and
course.
your growth is going to be depending on what you're going to be sharing
Exactly.
here today.
Yes.
That's very perfect. But to have a background story of a person, can you share it in the next 2 or 3 minutes?
Okay, my name is Udochukwu Chikwendu. I'm a proper Igbo boy with a global vision. People call me the sales guru because I'm a sales coach and consultant. I teach people sales and marketing. It's a job I've been doing for almost a decade now, and we've done it both across Nigeria and Africa and Europe and across industries. I look forward to sharing a little bit of what validates the name, the sales guru. So let's see after the end of this process, after this whole program, whether people will be able to say, okay, this is really the sales guru or not. Yes.
Now, to start with, why do you think people fail in business?
The number one reason why people fail in business is because they don't understand sales. And I'm not saying that because I'm a sales coach. I'm saying it because it's practical, it's what is on the field. So I made a statement some time ago that before you even structure your business, you should have met a minimum net profit in your business, because you can only structure what you have validated. So the first thing, you can outsource structure, you can outsource HR, you can outsource technology, but you can't outsource sales. You can't outsource marketing, because that is the bloodline of your business. So if you don't understand selling, human psychology, you as well not a business person. Right? Because that is the only thing that shows that you're in business. What is business in the first place? I always use it in my little mathematical formula. A business is simply problem solving plus commercialization. So you solve a problem, you commercialize it. Now, can you imagine having the solution to a problem and you don't know how to commercialize it? So the problem most time people don't know is that value expires. Let me give you an instance again. The reason why we are sitting here is because the conversation we are going to have here today, or we are having here, can help somebody move his business from point 1 to point 2. Now imagine after we have finished recording this whole session and you keep it to yourself. It's no longer valuable. The only way it's valuable is that after recording this session, someone out there gets to hear it and probably practice what he heard in that thing. That's the only thing that justifies that thing is actually what? Value. So if you're, for instance, a makeup artist, and you are so good, fantastically good in making up, you can make up even the first lady of Nigeria and the whole world will say like, wow. And then nobody ever knows that you're a makeup artist. You're not commercializing. You still die broke. You will not fulfill your dream, and the business will never grow, most definitely. That's why, as a business person, the first skill you must learn is the skill of selling. Because if you're doing business and money is not flowing, you're wasting your time. And the only way to keep money flowing is through selling.
Why do you say it cannot be outsourced?
The reason why I say, okay, businesses are in stages. I want to believe I'm talking to the person who is starting at the lowest level. I want to move. I'm currently at ground zero, right? I want to go to ground, whatever. Now, how do you outsource sales? With which money do you use to outsource sales? You don't have money. So you need to go get the money. And the only way you can get the money is sales. So how will you outsource? How will you even pay for the outsourcing if you don't have the money? So I would rather have a problem of too much inflow and then I don't have enough structure to sustain it than have a problem of having a structure and there is no inflow of cash. Wow. That is the most foolish thing to do as a business owner. That is why I'm saying, when you are starting your business, depending on the level you are, your number one most important thing to learn is selling. You can hire the best HR. You can also hire the best marketing, but then you must have grown to a particular level, right? You must have validated that this idea can work. And the only way to validate that this idea can work is that I've been able to put it in the hand of 1 or 2 persons, which is selling, not free. So if you create a solution and you cannot sell it, you are simply doing a charity organization, not business. Because if you're in business, you must create that solution and sell it. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yes.
Again, selling is love making, right? Selling is love making. When you are making love, in quotes, let me say for those that are married, I'm not, you get what I'm saying? And before you make love, please go and marry. Don't go and make love anywhere else. So if you are making love, it's a two-way thing. Both the man and the woman, they are fully enjoying the whole process. It's a purely win-win situation, right? That's what selling is all about. I've got a value that can transform your life. For me to give you that value, you need to part with a percentage of what you have, which is your money, and give to me. At the end of the day, me that brought the value to you, I am happy. You that collected the value, you are happy. So it's a love-making scenario. It's never a one-way thing. That's why I say that the seller is not greater than the buyer. Right? and the buyer is never greater than the seller. It's a win-win.
Well, but I'm thinking, can't someone be able to, if I'm starting up a business and I have the financial capital and I'm not good in sales, can't I get someone that can sell the business?
Okay, fantastic. Now, let's categorize it. We have different aspects of a business, right? You are starting a business, you're not very good in sales. Number one advice I would give you is don't start a business if you're not good in sales.
Are you serious?
Yes. Because nobody should close more deals than the owner of the business.
Wow.
Nobody in the team should close more deals than the business owner. Just think of all the entrepreneurs you know around the world. Think of Jeff Bezos, Elon Musk, Tony Lee, Dangote. What do? They don't stay in the office to be doing operations. They don't want to know who comes late to work. Can we give him sack letter or query this person? No. What they think is, how do we bring in more money to the business? So, in fact, the question I should ask you is, the money that you ever got, how did you even get it in the first place before you want to start a business? Right? So, I'm not again saying that as every business owner, your most core competence should be sales, right? But it's something you should not completely outsource. You know why? Because you can't successfully inspect what you don't understand. Because the most important part you should know is that bloodline of the business, which is sales. If money is not coming, you can't employ people. You can't expand. You can't buy the best of technologies. What are you doing in business if you're not bringing in the money? Who are you imitating? Because you look around the world, the best entrepreneurs are people who are very good at selling. Very, extremely good at selling. You now see that, okay, again, let me repeat what I said before. I would prefer to have a problem of having too much inflow in my business, and then I get to a point and I see that, I'm getting too much inflow that I don't have enough structure to support it. I start looking for, okay, how can I get structure, right? Then I have structure and I'm broke. I can't be structurally broke. It's a dangerous thing to be structurally broke. At the same time. In fact, that's what you call packaged poverty. Yes. Right? You know, you are CEO. I'm the CEO of XYZ Global Limited, and then every day you're just snapping pictures and say, okay, but come on, nothing is coming. You're just wasting your time. And we're actually in a dispensation where sales has been fully made a bit much easy. Like I tell some of the people under my coaching that, historically speaking, it is far much more easier to succeed in business now than before. Think about how those that did business in the 70s and 80s and early 90s, how were they able to succeed? How did you get to hear about social media? Social media. That's how I got to hear about you. In this conversation we're having today, I'm meeting you for the first time. Yeah. What was the possibility of this happening in the last 30 years? Zero. So this dispensation that we are in, anybody who is not really amassing the opportunity that is available in terms of business growth is wasting himself. This is that dispensation where you can actually start a business and scale it in the next 2 years. Wow. Because the technology is there to help you. You don't need to own it. If you recharge 100 naira MB, you can access the internet. Okay, let me just put it in proper perspective. If you have 100 naira, you use it to subscribe. You can post a content that can reach 1,000 people. True. So what was the possibility of this happening in the last 20 or 30 years? That's why I said that if we end up not succeeding in business in the dispensation, our children have a lot of query to give us, even on our grave. Because they know that we lived in the time where we had access to the tools and technology that could scale our business at a faster rate, but we left sales and marketing. Wow. This is quite very deep. The perspective you shared is quite deep, but I'm trying to go this perspective. Now, I start up a business and I'm not a good salesperson. How do I become a good salesperson? the demand for growth will force you to learn sales. For instance, nobody is born with anything in the 100% form of it. There's always opportunity for you to grow. And again, I know that there are some business owners that they are much more competence lies in maybe structure, maybe operations, and all of that. However, I believe that it's quite an error, like I've said in the beginning. How do you learn sales? Number one, if your motivation for that business is growth, right? Learn sales. Because every day you need to ask yourself, how do I make sure money keeps coming in? There is no other way. It's sales and marketing. Two, there are resources around the world that at your beck and call you can learn. That's why I didn't want to even start with you saying go and learn sales. No. I coach a lot of businesses, some of them small business owners. And one of the challenges I have with many business owners is that their motivation is too small, right? They started a business because maybe, I graduated from college, I waited for like 2 years, money is not coming in, and then at a point somebody taught me how to do makeup, and I learned it. The skill is not business. We need to point that thing out.
Wow.
That you have a skill in something doesn't mean that it's a business, right? You are simply self-employed or doing your side hustle. That's a clear thing also. But those who want to build a business know that they want growth. They cannot end this year with, say, 10 million naira revenue and end next year with 10 million naira revenue. You are not just stagnant, you are retrogressive. Because the business environment that was this year is definitely not the same with last year. Look at last year, when nobody was pursuing you to pay tax. This year, whether you like it or not, you're going to pay tax. So imagine if your income last year was 10 million and this year you are still on that 10 million. Your income is truly not 10 million. So your net profit last year may be 4 million. This year it has reduced. So you are not just stagnant, you are retrogressive, even though the income that is flowing in is the same. So if your motivation is strong enough to really grow your business, you will be forced to find a way to make the money come in. And when we talk about sales, let's even break it down a bit so that it doesn't look like a mystical word. Sales is a lifestyle. It's your ability to relate with one another. And everybody sells. Let me give you an example. If after this podcast session, I go back to my house, right, and as I open the door, my wife just opened the door and said, "You this useless man." The first thing that will come to my mind is not to be angry. No. I will simply say, how have I demarketed myself to this level? Right? You sell yourself to your children every day. You sell yourself to your siblings. There's a time that your younger sister will come and say, "You idiot." Say, Am I your mate? What are you doing? You're selling yourself. Everybody will want to sell himself to one way or the other. You sell yourself to your colleagues, you sell yourself to your friends. The only problem most times is that I say that everybody sells, but not everybody sells consciously. Right? So some people, their selling is unconscious selling.
Unconscious selling.
And unfortunately, if you don't sell consciously, you will not know when you undersell yourself. So you may be a person or a product that is valued at a premium price, but because your selling is not a conscious one, you will be underpriced. And unfortunately, you will not know when you have been underpriced.
Wow.
So the first way to learn sales is to be motivated to make sure your business, if you really demand business growth, you will find a way to go around it. You know the popular saying they say, when there is a will, there is a way. Right? So, and secondly, find across. I just started one of my batches of my training. There are different resources on the internet. People just go and learn how to sell.
Do you think many businesses deserve to make money?
Yes.
Why?
You know why? Because I believe that every business has a customer, right? And I always say that in that industry you are starting your business, if there's someone that has made a multi-million in it,
Sure.
it has validated the business idea that the market exists, right? Unless you are in an industry that you can't point one or two persons who have really gone to the top of that industry.
Yes.
But if someone has made it to the top of that industry, one thing it has done, it has validated that idea. I always ask this question is, and that's why I keep saying that most businesses need to stop doing business with the mindset of funding their lifestyle. Because the problem most times is because I just want money to get food to eat, money to buy clothes and shelter and stuff like that. When I get to the level where I get it, I'm just okay. And I think that's the highest level of wickedness, right? Because you and I were here today because at time T in the past, somebody gave us an opportunity in his or her company, right? Let me deviate a bit. I'll give you this illustration. Imagine that when you graduated from college, right? And one of those days you just came and called your mom and said, "Mom, or your dad, I just got a new job, Chevron." So wow, but let me not say Chevron. Let me say global companies that are our own. I just got a new job in global. You brought out your paycheck. There's an official car, travel allowance, health insurance for at least 5 members of your family. That means your mother now can, if she's ill, she can get access to healthcare, right? What will your mother feel? Your mother will feel so happy. Yeah. In fact, the next Sunday, boy, we are going to the church to do Thanksgiving. And if possible, buy 1 ram to say, God, after all the 5 years of my son in school,
Yes, sir.
we are finally
settled.
But do you know what you're actually reaping from? You are reaping from somebody's idea, somebody's determination at time T to build a business that grew to the level where it can now accommodate your desires. That's what business is. What if at that point, that person never took the risk of starting that business? What if he never bore the pain of making sure that business did not remain small just to fund his lifestyle? That's the purpose of business. After God Almighty, the only way to make humanity prosper is through entrepreneurship. Nothing else. Because check it, entrepreneurs build the city. They build this. Government is there to provide enabling environment. Look at our Nigerian system now. We've had refinery for how many years? How many of them were able to? In fact, the Port Harcourt refinery, the last time I was reading, they were in debt of over $6 million. They've not produced $1 as their income for how many years? And then you see Dangote coming to invest $20 billion. Can't you see what he's doing now? Government cannot run businesses because the bureaucratic process is too much. They can't run businesses. Their job is to make sure that there is an enabling environment for entrepreneurs to thrive, right? But yes, every business can make money if truly you want to make. However, you can have a fantastic idea, but the implementation is very, very wrong, right? So you must learn the codes of entrepreneurship so that you don't always burn out. One of my mentors will always say that the best business idea can be sabotaged by incompetence. Right? So it doesn't matter how fantastic the idea is if you don't understand the codes of operation. Just take for instance, if you don't understand sales, you'll be thinking the problem is your idea when it's not necessarily the business idea. Somebody can pick up that. That's what in big organizations do. They look for smaller organizations that have fantastic ideas, but they cannot enter the market. They buy them over and scare the hell out of it. Yes, they have the resources, they have the market, but then this person, you need to know that, come on, beyond the idea, there is a market that is adopting the idea. That's why I always say that God will give you an idea, but it is the market that will fund it. Right? So you have to always go to the market. Every entrepreneur must be a friend of the market, understand market dynamics. Otherwise, you are gone.
Now, what do you think are the psychological triggers that triggers buying decision?
Now, there are plenty of them. Some are emotional, some are logical, right? One of the biggest triggers of purchasing is fear.
Fear.
Yes. Fear is legitimate.
Even if he creates it, it's legitimate.
Of course. Let me give you an example. Are you a Christian?
Of course.
Okay. Be truthful to me.
What if I'm not?
Let's assume now that God decides to remove hell from the equation.
So no more hellfire.
No more hellfire. Boy, live your life.
Live your
Do
life.
whatever you are doing. Will you still be a Christian?
No more fear.
So if God uses fear factor to keep his children, there's absolutely nothing wrong for entrepreneurs to use fear factor to keep their customers. And the fear is absolutely legitimate. How would you feel that the end of this world, you end up going and you discover that there was actually nothing like hell? You'll be disappointed in God. So using fear to inspire people to buy is wrong when actually in the true essence there was nothing like that.
What if there's actually nothing like that? You just created the fear, it doesn't exist.
No, there has to be something like that. So let me give you an example. In reality, there is no reality. What I mean?
In reality,
there is no reality. Reality is created. What's your favorite food?
Favorite food?
Yes, sir.
Beans.
Beans.
Yeah.
How did you come about loving favorite?
Probably because I like it.
There's a way that thing was. Maybe your mom cooked it when you were small. You liked how she prepared it. Along the line, you loved it. What if you were born, let's say, in northern Jigawa? Do you think beans would have been your favorite food? The possibility of that happening wouldn't happen like that. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Low.
Would have been low, right? So what happens most of the time is, in using fear factor to motivate people to buy, is giving them empirical analysis of what could happen if they don't buy, right? For instance, I'm a sales coach. Let's say I want to use fear factor to induce people to buy my courses. And one of the things I'm telling them is that if your business does not grow, you are likely to die poor. And in the nearest future, your children will hate you because you had the opportunity to build a comfortable life for them, but you never did. Did I lie? It's plain. I told one of my students who was a photographer, right? So I gave him an idea. Still in this fear factor, I said, one of the tagline I gave him is that none of your birthdays will be celebrated twice. So you only have one option to document it per time. It means that if you make the mistake of missing this your particular birthday, you can never document it again. True or false?
True.
Does that instill fear?
Kind of. It
Kind of is.
Yes.
So fear is a reality that we live in every day. All the medical is fear factor.
You know why I said what if the fear is just created, it doesn't really exist? Because there's this movie I watched, I've been struggling to remember the name. It's but they call it Dragon Warrior. One of the theme within the movie is about Dragon Warrior, and there's this equipment that they built. It's a cartoon movie, and that if you were able to get that particular thing, you will become the Dragon Warrior, and you'll be so strong and all of that. It's a very popular movie. I'm trying to remember the name. Those that have watched it will know what I'm talking about. So, but at the end of the day, after all the said and done, all the fighters, all the warriors have been fighting, struggling, who will get that particular scroll, they call it dragon scroll, who will get that scroll that if you get it, you become the most powerful. At the end of the day, they end up getting that scroll and they realize it was nothing. It was just
nothing.
empty. It was just created in the mind just to help you to think that there is something greater out there that is needed for you to be able to become stronger. But it was just mindset. If you believe that you are strong, you can be able to do it. So at the end of the day, when the person got to that scroll, you opened it and it was nothing.
Nothing.
It's just your personal belief. Do you believe you can be very strong enough to defeat the adversary? And with that belief, the person was able to use it to defeat that adversary. But that scroll that they were struggling for was an empty scroll.
But he ended up defeating those people.
And he ended up defeating.
He has now become the warrior.
Yes.
So let me tell you something. Customers use your product or service in their mind first before they use it physically. Right? First, in coming here today, do you think I just came because I don't have anything to do? No. I've seen what you do. I needed to go through what you do. Is this place worth it in the first place? So before even coming to this studio, I had bought what you were doing. I've used it. This is just a physical manifestation of me using again what you are doing, right? So sometimes, if you can create, I know I said beginning that in reality there is no reality. If that person, according to that movie, had not contested for that, he wouldn't have even known the kind of strength that he had. So the people that even designed that, the reward was not in getting that thing. The reward was in winning people before you get that thing. But if they told you, the buyer, that the reward was in winning people before getting that thing, you will not buy.
True.
It's human psychology. So sometimes it's not about, I'm a Christian, so I don't like conjuring things. But every human have that deep-seated emotional fear for something. It is there. It's your duty to just awaken the consciousness and serve it.
Apart from fear, what else?
Apart from fear, ego.
Ego.
Yes, your ego. Everybody likes ego.
Yes.
You know one of the biggest salesmen I like? Before Jesus. His name is Serpent. Did you see what Serpent told Eve? First of all, he went to her and said, "What did God say that thou shalt not eat of this fruit?" Serpent said, "God said we should not touch or eat, for the day we touch or eat, we shall die." What did Serpent say to her? She said, "For God knows that the day you eat this fruit, you will be like him." What? What? You mean the person that I wait every evening that comes and we call him God, that if I eat this particular fruit, I'll be like him? Ego. And immediately sold it to him. She bought it. And I'm sure that's probably what he told the husband. He said, "Hi, sweetheart." Okay, let me get back to it. You know that when Eve ate that fruit, right? Probably her eyes didn't open up. She didn't believe, she was not like God. I'm sure Serpent must have told her and said, "Hold on, your husband needs to eat it. If both of you eat it, phew, both of you be like God." Then she waited and the husband came back and said, "Darling, that God we have been serving, do you know that we can be like him and others will serve us? Please take a bite of this fruit." And he gave it to her. And that is the same thing he sold to Adam, that we want to be like God. Who doesn't want to be like God? And they bought it. So everybody likes association. Can I tell you something? You were able to bring me here because of that same ego. Because I've gone through your channel, I've seen the caliber of people you have invited. I said, okay, if you have invited this kind of people, it's a good place to be. Everybody likes associating something that makes you different from others. Let me give you a classical example so that you know how the human psychology is. If you partake in a race and you end up finishing first, will you be happy?
Of course.
Do you know the only reason why you're happy?
You've defeated every other person.
It's as simple as that. What if you ran in that race and it was only you? And you still went to the end of the whatever at the same time you went? Will you be happy? No.
There's no benchmark.
So the only reason why you are happy when you are first is because there's somebody that is second. That's why I say that the joy of the king is his followers. Are you getting it? A king without followership. In fact, do you know that poor people, very wealthy men, the only people that give wealthy men's wealth a meaning is poor people.
And it's very true. And it's true.
The only person that makes a wealthy man's wealth to have a meaning is poor people. Imagine at a time where you don't have a driver, you don't have a gateman, no cleaner. When politicians are campaigning, do you see rich men standing and say, "Hey, it's poor people"? Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So every human likes that ego. That's what Rolls Royce sells, not car.
Yeah.
Not mobility.
Status.
Where Rolls Royce goes, Toyota Corolla can go there. But what the difference is, do you know who is using this? And then if you look at it, you see that these big brands, is it Louis Vuitton, Gucci, Rolls Royce, all of them, they only sell on the concept of what? Ego. That's why this is iPhone 14 Pro Max. That's 17. Next year, maybe 18. The difference is most times it's not too. And you see somebody that bought 17 this year, next year you buy 18. Why? Because of the functionality? Never. Because of social status.
Status, that's all.
When they brought these 3 cameras, those that their own was 1, they jettisoned it. If you don't have these 3 cameras, you're not using phone. Unfortunately, after 14, they went back to 15 to 2 cameras.
And it's true.
Big
They are
brands.
playing with our brains.
That's what they do every day. Big brands always come up and exploit ego, men's ego. That's what they do, nothing else. So you too, you must learn. And what does that ego work? One is an association. One, your feeding pattern, right? One, your lifestyle. Right? How do you make me feel that my shoe, what's the primary purpose of a shoe? To prevent your feet from being hot on the floor, right?
Yeah.
But when I'm wearing Gucci, is that the purpose?
That's status.
That's status. In fact, I will bring it so that you see you see the label on it. That boy, this is Gucci I'm wearing. So all the big brands across the world, they don't sell product and service. They sell emotions. It's simply emotion that they sell to, and emotion is strictly expensive. So that is what emotions does. Is selling, building our human ego. Again, tapping into the most fundamental human need. If you look at Maslow's hierarchy of needs, you find out that at the base level is physiological, right? There's need for food. Humans want to enjoy food, want to enjoy beverage, they want to enjoy good lifestyle, they want to have safety. Safety is a basic human need. So one of the things that makes people to buy is anything that promises them a better safety than what they are currently experiencing. Anything that promises them a better life than what they are currently experiencing. If you can tell somebody how you can make more money, how you can save more money, how you can multiply an existing money, how you can prevent himself from losing more money, they will buy from you.
If you know how to unlock fear from people, you know how to also unlock people's side of emotions. Make them
Exactly.
buy.
And this thing is not necessarily something you curate. It's inherent in every human. When I was dating my wife when we were in college, I knew somehow this girl is a very bright girl. very bright and beautiful. And after college now, she's likely to meet one guy that is doing far better than I was doing then. And I told her I was not interested in a relationship, I want to marry. So I locked the door. Before
any other person.
Before scavengers will
come in.
Why? I was afraid that at a point I may lose this girl. So fear is inherent in every man. You're afraid of losing your family. So if I can create fear factor around something that can help you protect, if I want you to buy insurance, it's fear factor that you're like, insurance people trade on fear every time. Why do you have to die and leave your family? Okay, you're building a big business. What if tomorrow fire goes up? It's fear. And you end up subscribing to the insurance policy for 15 years to 20 years. There was never a fire. But it's the same fear of losing everything that you've made that made you to subscribe in the first place. Is there a possibility of that thing happening in real life? The answer is yes.
Yes.
That it didn't happen doesn't mean that they lied.
Yes, exactly.
It's true. So these things are inherent in human. We just need to find a way to always what? Unlock it. And that's what marketing does.
Now, what do you think are some of the most marketing advice that people give out there that are completely useless?
Okay, first of all, especially let me talk from the small business perspective, right? Most times you see people, they say, be consistent, 1. 2, some people say, go and run ads.
Doesn't work.
Ads work, but I will always say that you can actually be consistent in the wrong thing.
Right? Consistent in the wrong thing.
Yeah, so consistency alone is not what makes you to succeed in business. Right? You need to make sure that you are consistent in the right thing. Again, let's go back to the ad issue. Ad is an inorganic campaign. And I always say that the success of your inorganic campaign largely depends on the quality of your organic processes. Right? So what I mean is this. If you run ads on your page, fantastic creative, good targeting and everything. Most time when I see that ad, the first thing I try to do is to click on the page running that ad. I want to find out what he or she has done. Because I don't want to be scammed too.
True.
And you cannot successfully give me that inorganic masterpiece when you don't have a process that is validating it. So many people don't even know how much they lose on ad budgets because they have pages that are not authentic. So most people want to go and see, what's this guy doing? Is he real? Oh, imagine I'm branding myself as Africa's premium marketing and sales coach, and I put one creative, come to the studio like this, record it, fantastic images, joining with AI and everything, and oh man, this is so bam. And then you just bump into that ad, click on my page, and you can't see anything that is validating. You'll be utterly disappointed.
True.
You are going to doubt the integrity of that ad.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So ad is good. However, ad leverages on your organic process. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, true.
So again, one of the biggest mistakes people make in business is trying to put up operation before sales. How do I mean? There's a huge difference between business growth and business expansion, right? Not all expansions lead to growth, but every growth can lead to what? Expansion. So let me give you an example. Let's say you've been doing business here, money is coming in, right? You just say, okay, this is Lagos, man. Let me just open another branch in Abuja. Right? Go to Abuja, rent a space. You've not tested the market. Rent a space, equip it, hire people, fantastic office, business starts. The first month, you are using the money you are making in Lagos to fund the Abuja office. Right? And then what happens? As you have expanded, in your mind, you think you have grown. Remember that when you expand, you increase operational cost.
Yes.
And when operational cost has increased, unless revenue keeps coming in a way to match the new increased operational cost,
yes,
otherwise you'll be living in deficit.
Yes.
So what happens at that point is that, yes, have you expanded? Yes. Have you grown? No. So most time, the first thing you need to do is to test the market. We are living in a dispensation where you don't necessarily need ownership to own a business. You just need to master distribution. So what do I mean? If I want to start a spare parts business as an Igbo man, I don't need to, let's even assume I have like 50 million resting somewhere, but I want to start a spare parts business. My job is not to go and look for a shop and pay importer to bring me a spare parts business. No, I'm likely to go and attach myself to one person that is already doing the business.
So you learn.
Right? Learn it, create a very huge online presence. Market what I'm doing online presence, collect orders, go to the people that are already selling it, pick the product that they order, maybe find a way to distribute it to them, right? Form some level of relationship with the mechanics around the location. With that, I know what is prevalent in that market. Then because you know what happens now is that if I've done all these things, it means I have a particular market reach and market cap, right? So what happens is that now I can predict where the money is going to come from and how it's coming from. So when I'm bringing my 50 million, I know how to invest it. I know that, okay, if I own a shop here, I should not just depend on who walks into my shop now. I have an online presence and I'll push it there. So that order will still keep coming. The only difference now is that I'm no longer going to somebody's shop to pick it. It's not coming directly to me. But the first thing I did was to validate the market before I brought in my product. My growth rate at that time is faster than I just open a shop and start looking for who to buy. This is one of the biggest mistakes every business owner makes. I had a student one time and he showed me a proposal because one big man he knew had told him, give me a proposal, let me see how I can support your business. I think he did a proposal then, everything detailed around 9 million. So when he brought it to me, I looked at it, I said, all the things I saw, there was no marketing budget. Wow. Everything I saw was office, painting, chair, recruitment, equipment. So you buy all these things. You now start thinking of where the money will come from. It's just foolishness in business. It's just foolishness in business.
The owner can be the marketing now.
Just find where the money will come from before you start the business.
Okay.
You need just test the market first before you start putting on all those whole things. So imagine in that your budget, one of the things you said is that, for instance, you are going to create a prototype, right, for people to use it, right, and then give you their feedback. Or however, you are going to test the market for, like, let's say one of the budgets you have is that you are going to be creating strategic content that you are going to post for 90 days to find out people's receptibility about that business idea. Right? When you finish that and it has happened, you know where to put money.
True.
Otherwise, that's why, according to CAC, it says about 80% of businesses in Nigeria don't survive their first 5 years. You know the shocking thing? Over 90% of those that survive their first 5 years don't grow.
They don't grow?
They don't grow.
Wow. Break it down. How do you mean?
So what I mean is that, yes, they are in business, but they are repeating almost the same revenue every time. They're just living and surviving.
Wow.
So every business owner, the number one thing you must make your friend is the market. A business owner, an entrepreneur in this dispensation must live in his market. Didn't you see that recently, the chairman of Boa Group It's now on your face everywhere.
Honestly.
Did you not see it?
I saw it.
Do you think he is looking for monetization? No. Look at Tony Elumelu. Those are people that understand the dynamics. I'm sure the majority of the places is going, social media is one of the things that is aiding it, and that is simply marketing. Marketing does not always have to do when you are saying, come and buy.
Yeah.
In fact, I always tell my students that when you say, buy, B-U-Y, people would simply be telling you, buy, B-Y-E. Right? Marketing is not about saying, come and buy. Marketing is about making you know that I exist for your good. So, should there be a time you have need for this, I am the go-to person to help you.
Now, as a salesman, I want us to do this practical example. Can you pick up any product or service that you can break down and create sales funnel around it that can trigger someone to buy it?
Okay, number one thing, let me put it in this way. What product should I take? Okay, let's say real estate.
No, do something else.
Give me an example.
Let's say fashion.
Oh, fantastic. So, in fashion, if I'm to sell fashion, in fact, I have a brand that I'm trying to do something for. If I'm to sell fashion, the number one thing I'm going to do, okay, let me give you an example. This is how my funnel will be. The first thing I must do is to be sure that I'm so good making that fashion. So I will spend a considerable amount of time, resources, and energy learning the art
of making good
of
fashion.
making good dress. You see, it is neat. You see, it's not thread, pass here. No. I'm going to make sure that I learn the art of making exceptional. That's why I say, first of all, master the process of value creation. If you are sure of your value, there's nothing like over-marketing, as long as the value is guaranteed. So I learned that it doesn't matter how long it takes me. I'm not going to go into the market like every other person. The first thing I'll do is I'll pick within my market reach. That's the people I can reach. I pick like 10 to 20 major people with influence in that market, right? I reach out to them. Hello, fantastic what you have been doing. Because I say that as a business owner, there is a money you must budget for. I call it sacrificial money. Money you sacrifice without looking for anything in return, right? So what happens is that I reach out to you and say, hey, thank you for what you are doing. I've been going through what you are doing, and you are making a very huge impact in our dispensation. In a way to appreciate you for what you are doing, I would like to make a bespoke senator for you. Yes. The chances of you saying okay is almost 100. I'll do it for you. The process of doing it, I'll come to your office, deliver it to you, and create a marketing content out of it. Right? I'll keep it. If I can do that for 10 to 20 persons, right? You see now that my point of pick, because what I want to sell in my fashion is not commodity, it's experience, right? And my point of reference are those people that other people even look up to. So when I document all those processes, I can now, in fact, all through the process of even making the clothes, I can create multiple vlogs around the clothes. Oh, I'm making this dress for XYZ, as a big name in the industry. What I must put into it is knitting. In fact, for each person I make clothes, I can make up to 5 to 10 vlogs. Right? So I do this for, if I can do this successfully for 10 different persons, I will start a 90-day marketing challenge with those content, right? So, and then I can bring a bundle to say, within that 90 days of that intense marketing, I am giving 40%, 30% or 40% discount on our product. So I use that opportunity as a lead generation. So so people will come in. And because I'm so good, your location is no longer a problem because I can, by seeing your picture, I can take your measurement.
Yeah.
Right? If I successfully do that in 90 days, I'm not starting like every other person. And beyond having a good market reach, I have successfully made you know that I serve premium clients. And guess what? When I'm doing that marketing, do they know that I made the clothes free for you?
No.
They don't know. The person that makes my dress now was never my tailor. He walked me through this process.
Wow.
And he makes my clothes now.
So you can invest that capital into doing all those things?
I can invest that capital into doing all of those things. And you see that at the end of the day, you see that you are no longer doing like the regular person who will just start and then waiting for months to happen.
If somebody says he doesn't have the money to serve all those people,
that's what I'm saying. Sometimes, yes, it may be difficult for people that don't have that kind of money, yes, right, to serve that amount of people. That means somehow, somewhere you have to wait a longer time, right?
Okay.
Because, but however, what I always say that if we are so good in doing that thing, maybe find one person. There's somebody that made a senator for me, right? I have to give him a publicity that he wanted. And I made sure that it didn't happen just once or twice or thrice. Again, if you don't have money at all, let me tell you what can work. Because volunteer, don't start a business yet. Look for a leading brand. Do you know my EA today, my executive assistant, came to me on the platform of volunteering and I gave her a page. Wow. So you don't have a business at all, money at all. Go and I will write to, you see, there's power in communication. And you want to start premium, you live in Lagos. Write to, let's say, Yomi Casual. Right? And you want to work in his office for free for 3 years. That's why I say if you don't have money, you must not be in a haste. Because you can't be poor and be in a haste at the same time. Because it's only money that gives speed. So if you don't have money, you must calm down. And follow due process. So let me not even say Yomi Casual. Maybe Yomi is too big.
Too big, yes.
Go to someone that you know has a big share in that market. Submit to that person. Serve him. 2 years, 3 years. Do you know what happens? When you are serving him, you are meeting customers.
Yeah.
So
you're understanding the business dynamics.
So you are beyond understanding the business dynamics. You are creating a market for yourself. So that by tomorrow, before you even leave, you would have created a market for yourself. So those people, one day they will say, this boy, how are you? He says, I'm fine. You're not taking customers from your bosses, but they will come one day and ask for you. That's why when you are there, be exceptionally good. Be exceptionally good.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Be exceptionally good. They will find you.
True.
They will find you. And sometimes you just need one person to blow you up. That's all you need. So you see that after 2 to 3 years, you have created that market for yourself.
Now let me come to that real estate that you mentioned, because some people would have heard it and they'll say, you should have allowed him to speak on that real estate. Speak on it.
No, I can't be giving them free. If you're in real estate and you want to come to me, I will consult. At least they have money in that real estate. They should come and meet me.
Exactly, that's why I wanted something.
Yes, I get it. If you're in real estate, come to me. I will give you strategies on how you can market.
Okay, let us just do one again, which is on the basic aspect of it that if anybody's in any niche or field, that can cover it. Let me go to the smallest of things. Let's say you want to sell groundnuts. What can you create around it? Similar what you did in fashion.
Groundnuts. I don't know if I will use it as an example because the turnover in groundnuts is not much, depending on the volume of sales anyways.
Yes.
But I need to think deeper in groundnut, whether I'm going to be selling processed groundnut just that they package in bottle. However, yes, I can do groundnuts, right? You know, everything in life is about strategy. That's why I always say that strategy is greater than energy. So I want to start a groundnut business. Of course, I will not fry groundnut and keep it on the road. Remember, I told you something that in the dispensation we find ourselves, right? It is better to own the distribution than to own the product. So what will I do in groundnut? I don't need to fry groundnut. In fact, if I want to start a business in groundnut and I'm thinking of going to fry groundnut and sell.
You're operating at the forest level.
When there are plenty of them that are looking for somebody to take off from them. So I'll create a very fantastic groundnut brand, right? I'll form an alliance. I'll find my way around all the event planners platform in my place of stay, right? Because groundnut is one thing you serve at event. Because what I'm looking at then is bulk purchase. Groundnut business is something that thrives on volume, not margin. Because the highest profit you can make on one bottle should be like 1,000, 2,000. If it's too much, say 2,000.
Yeah.
So for you to make 200,000, you need to sell 100 bottles.
Yes.
If you stay on the road, how long will it take you to sell 100 bottles of groundnut to make 200,000? And in this dispensation, if you make 200,000 naira profit, you are still on the low side of business. The Nigeria we live in today, right? So what I would do, one, I will form an alliance with every event planning community in my place, right? To let them know that for every event that comes, this is the kind of groundnut. I can supply you groundnut, well packaged groundnut, because my eye is on volume, right? Again, myself, let me deviate a bit. There's one of my students that is into palm oil production and packaging, right? She's not selling to malls or those things, which is the conventional way you should do it. But what she's doing is creating a mindset that the biggest souvenir you can give at any wedding or burial or whatever event or birthday is palm oil. Right? So that's what he's selling. I will adopt the same strategy. That groundnut is a fantastic souvenir item that you should give out either at a burial. Not what people eat there, because I'm looking at volume. Imagine you buying me 100 to 200 bottles of groundnut. Even if I sell it at 500 naira per bottle profit, I'm still better than the person that is standing on the road there. So I'm going to leverage on event occurrences. I'll reach out to my uncles. Everybody have an uncle. If you don't have an uncle, you must have an uncle. You can't be poor and shameful at the same time. Now you get what I'm saying? Yeah. That's why sometimes when I talk to my students, I hit them hard. Because you are looking for money and you are still reserved. What's your problem? You can't be looking for money and you are still reserved. In fact, the world will not reward you until they have seen that you need that thing. So I'm always going to look for, I have an uncle, I have uncle's uncle, I have friends. Somebody must be in the business of doing that thing, right? And then I make sure I get those people that can give me that volume that I'm looking for. One of the things I will do, I can still leverage the same thing I did on fashion. Try my best, hustle my best, make small money, serve them some of my groundnuts, right? That's something Vodi is doing. Maybe somebody sold that idea to him. Some of these big men come to his office and he served them gari and granite. Right? Somebody probably brought out that whole idea, right?
True.
So it makes everything can work through marketing. And marketing is no longer too expensive. I will create a sensation that one of the things you need to serve in the office is granite. And if you are serving any granite that is not my XYZ granite in the office is not standard. So it's about marketing.
People say Nigerians don't have money. Is that false?
Money to wow. How did they say it in Yoruba? In Igbo, we say good, you. Money day.
Why do people believe
money day? The problem in Nigeria is that the people that have the money and they are here, right? And then there's still a big population of those that don't have them. I don't even know if there is middle class again. It's either you are rich or you are poor. So that's the problem that happens. Inflation keep going on, cost of living keep increasing. In fact, subsidy that was removed last year further drove people who were in the middle class to the low class because transportation increased, cost of basic needs increased, housing increased, almost everything increased. There's money. Didn't you see what was happening in the southeast where I come from this Christmas? They were just throwing dollars and pounds. And that's money, just that the people that have. However, it may not be the same case with everyone, but across the world, you see that there are still people who are very, very wealthy, and there are those who are just looking forward to it. But wherever you see people, there is money. That's the mindset of entrepreneurs. Let me share you something. I came in from Abuja yesterday, and I met one of my old-time senior friends at the airport while we were waiting. So he told me that he was going to Gombe. That's where he works. I said, Gombe. He said, yeah. He said, do you know Gombe? I said, no. He said, look at all these Chinese people sitting here waiting for flights. Most of them are going to the north. Some are going to that Gombe. He said, that means these Chinese see opportunity in your land that you are not seeing. That was so striking. That means that sometimes we are here, we say there is no money. Somebody far away, China, is seeing that we are sitting on money and is leaving his country to come here to collect that money. You get what I'm saying? So there is money in this land. What necessitates money is people. Wherever you go and you see number, there's money there. And you know how entrepreneurs think. Create a solution that collects the littlest money that the poor man has. Yes, that's what we do. Entrepreneurs, we are not kind people. We are principled people.
Capitalists.
Yes, so create a solution that collects the smallest money. And I'll prove it to you from the Bible that it's not a bad thing. That collect the smallest money that people has. When you make 5 naira from 5 million people, that's 25 million, if I'm not mistaken. You can bring out 5 million again out of that 25 million and do a philanthropic work. And guess what? The masses will still rejoice and patronize you. You get what I'm saying?
True.
So that's what Jesus said in the Bible, saying that even he that doesn't have, this littlest that he has shall be taken from him. So I tell people, and if you are listening to me, don't think like a consumer. Think like a producer. Because you can't have the mindset of a consumer and live the lifestyle of a producer. It doesn't work. You have to learn to think that wherever they say there is too much problem lies opportunities. And what is business? Problem solving. Find a way to solve the problem and collect the money. And I need to say this for the purpose of those that are listening to me that say, oh, what problem will I solve now that somebody has not solved? So in business, there's something that people need to know, that sometimes they will say that, oh, this industry is saturated. I can agree with it partially, but there's one thing that is never saturated: perception.
Perception.
Yes.
True.
So, variety is the spice of life. If I sell cake, you sell cake. This my brother here sells cake too. They will say there are too many people that are selling cake. The difference is how we are selling the cake. Your ingredient is the same. My ingredients is the same. The mixing formula is the same. The taste is the same. But the differentiation is how we are selling the cake.
Wow. Wow.
Are you getting that? Vodi is just a fashion designer. The difference is how he is selling. How he's selling. Very real in selling. He connects with both the high and the low. So in this Nigeria, both the high and the low, they love him. I love Vodi so much because when you look at, it's not even about his clothes. I don't think Vodi has ever come out one day to start talking about the quality of the materials he sells. You have never seen it. Have you ever come and seen him say the shoe, the ingredient that he used in making the shoe? Never. But it tells real story. It's not fabricated. And you see people can relate with his story. People can say, oh, this person, he's just high there. He's still part of us. And when you see those high people coming, he doesn't even do editing on his videos. He doesn't put logo. You don't get to see logo or those angle or packaging. Or his style of marketing is real. Being real with the people. And people are flowing with it. Yomi is not like that. Right?
Yeah.
Yomi does more of a package stuff. Maybe because of the foundation he started with AI and AY and AY shows and all those influencer marketing that he used to do with Yomi Casual thing. He's still selling. Right? So you see that perception is never, what are they selling? Clothes. So somebody can still start tomorrow. There's one guy I like on Insta. He's only pure of marketing. He makes different senators and wears, irons them, and he just open it one by one. He can open like 20 and you see how it's dropping. That's the style of marketing. It's perception. You just need to find out what works for you. And then if I must say this, we have gotten to the dispensation where it's no longer possible for you to run away or to separate your personal brand from your corporate brand. These days, your corporate brand wears your personal brand. You can't. I tell my students that it's either you have the money to hire people that will do your marketing and pay them very well so that they can do it well, or you do it. You don't have a choice. Yes. Not to do it. Right? So you can have plenty of products, but one thing you can never successfully get to the top is perception. Everybody wants to see something different every day. That's why you see my videos. Sometimes I give you sophisticated one. Sometimes I give you the one that looks like, oh, it's just me. That's how my life is. Sometimes I just, it can't just be one place. Just keep evolving.
Okay, now I'm thinking, what do you think will be the mindset or sales strategy shift that can help someone that's already making 1 million to move to making 5 million, and to a person that's making 5 million to move to making 10 million, someone making 10 million to move to making 50 million and upward like that?
Okay, I said the first thing is think of the society, not yourself. So instead of me to write my target of I want to make 50 million, 100 million this year, I would rather write it that I want to help 1,000, 2,000 more people solve their sales problem this year. Right? So one of the things that people mistake most times is that they think the business is for themselves. I always give this very practical example. Go to your bank, maybe ask them for the bank statement, your bank statement for the last month, right? Look at all the money that left your account. How many percent of them did you spend on yourself? You will end up finding that money is not necessarily made for you, it's made for the society. So if you want to move from your level of productivity now in that dimension or income to the next, start thinking of how can let me put it in proper perspective. The first one is, I already have the solution. How can I put this solution into the hands of more people? Right? So I put it in what I call RCR. Reach. What's the C again? Reach, capture, retain. Right? So you have a solution to a problem. If I want to make 1 million, it means maybe I need to sell my product 1,000 to how many people? Maybe 1,000. 1,000 times 1,000, 1 million. Am I correct? So you need to put that product into the hands of 1,000 people. Or you have a product of 10,000, put it in the hand of 100 people, as the case may be. So if you want more money, it simply means you need to solve that same problem to more people.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
Or you need to, if your problem is not the one that is needed by more people, you need to now find a way to solve a fresh problem for new people.
Yeah.
Or also solve a fresh problem for people you have already solved a problem for.
Something different.
Something different. So for me, I have different packages for in my business, right? So tomorrow you may come for my online trainings. Tomorrow I bring it to my personal trainings, physical. The next one I can bring you on one-on-one consultation. The next tomorrow it could be that I'm coming to your company to train your staff, or you are consulting us for a consulting gig to help you give your business a face or structure or growth strategy, right? These are all pocket points. So if one of the things I want to do is that, okay, I want to make extra 100 million, it means that all these solutions to problems that I've already created, how can I put it in the hand of more people? Or how can I give other kind of solution to people that have sold one part of my solution to? Or how can I create an entirely different solution to people that have not created it for before? That's just the mindset of moving from one level in your income to the other. Because, let me tell you, if you want to be a billionaire today, if it's today you decided that you want to be a billionaire, does it mean that it's when you decided to be a billionaire that the money will be printed? The money is already in circulation long before you said you wanted to be a billionaire. The only reason why it has not flown to you is that you have not created enough value to attract it, or the value you have created has not been distributed to enough market. Because when market takes your value, they give you money in exchange for that value. So money is already in circulation. The only question is that is your value reaching to the people that needs to give you money in return? That's simple.
Wow.
Again, I think the last sample I would have given to that is find a way to now use that your product and solve that same problem for a higher category in the market. For instance, you may be solving problems to people that are paying you maybe 50,000 subscription or 20,000 depending. That same product, you can actually solve it for somebody that can pay you 1 million. Right? So you see that you are moving yourself in the market ladder. It may be the same product, although because poor people are the most difficult people to please. They demand the highest discount, they complain the most. I'm sorry.
Now, what if there's somebody there that said, I've grown my business to a particular extent, and it's more or less like I've plateaued. Like you said, that most businesses die within the first 5 years, or they remain at the same. And the person has been doing everything. He said he has been selling all of that to grow it past that level, and it's not possible. What do you think the person is doing wrong?
I think what the number one thing the person is doing wrong is that, again, the person is not thinking more of society. There's problem to solve in society every day. Are you Dangote now that you have plateaued? Are you Elon Musk? How can you plateau at the level of 200 million, 500 million? You see where I'm talking about? Your initial motivation in business is very, very important. And I'm talking to some of my Igbo brothers. If they make one first money, the first thing they do, they run to the village and build one gigantic mansion and collect chieftaincy title.
That's wrong.
Very, very wrong.
Why?
You know, I gave you an illustration in the beginning. You are who you are today because somebody created a platform. The person that created this camera we're using to record this thing, you think what he's thinking of is money he wants to use and go for holidays in Bahamas? If that's what he's thinking, he would have stopped at a point. Look at you now. Somebody was thinking and did this microphone and said the handheld microphone is it's not working again. They are modifying it again. Those who continuously think for the society don't play too. It's difficult for you to play too in business when your business is truly human dependent, because you know you want to keep solving problem for the society. You know, I don't want to take a shade on some people, but especially I'm an Igbo person, and most of our people, the business they know is importation, right? Does it solve problem for people? Yes. But one of the things it does to us is it wipes away our sense of creativity. Because you see that our eyes has always been money. Let me give you an instance. Money is good, it's the reward for business, I agree. Wherever money is not coming in, it's no longer a business. What do you think Elon Musk was thinking when he ventured into Tesla? When he said that when everybody, including the government of the United States of America, said that that's effort in futility. What's electric cars? Well, see our celebrities now. They're not driving electric cars. Electric cars has become a thing. It's somebody who saw society and said, how can we reduce carbon emission? That's a higher level of thinking in entrepreneurship. It's a higher. He wasn't thinking about the shoe his wife will wear, where this kind of school his wife will wear. No, it was societal based. How can we reduce this thing and still give people some sense of luxury? And Tesla came into being. Despite all that, he put his money. And look at what he has become to be. And he's thinking of the next big thing. So you can't really think about the society as the engine of your business and play to.
Now, there's someone that said something regarding the economy, especially this our Nigeria that we're in. The person said, you cannot outwork a bad economy, which means the more harder you're working to grow, and the economy is retrogressing, standard of living is retrogressing, and it's indirectly impacting or affecting the person. So if someone is saying, like you said initially earlier on, that what government does, it's not entrepreneurs it's entrepreneurs that build the system. What government does is create an enabling environment. If they are not building that environment, or rather the economy is retrogressing, what do you expect an average entrepreneur to do to outwork a failing economy?
So the truth of the matter is that this question you asked me now is one of the greatest pain I have, especially as a coach and consultant. Because I've seen, in fact, I was telling someone in Abuja yesterday that in Nigeria, the government does not care when you are suffering. The government only cares when you have become somebody. And when you have become somebody in the business field, they are coming for you. You know why? Because they now know that you have the opportunity to shape opinions. And because they don't want you to shape opinions, and you have some level of database to you, some level of followership, unfortunately, they are coming to take you down unless you join them. That's why most of the billionaires you see in Nigeria, you know what they will tell you? That this popular saying, your network is your network. I believe it's a shallow truth. And I've not seen American entrepreneurs giving that advice. American entrepreneurs always tell you to focus on product development, market development. You can't have a quality product, have a share in the market without becoming rich. The reason why those people tell you this thing is because imagine we are going to take somebody's land. What if that person was not in Navy? That land don't go.
Honestly.
What if that person doesn't have backing more than that is greater than Wiki? Whether he bought it legitimately or not, that land don't come out. It's terrible. So that's why we are praying. We are also earnestly hoping that one day the system in Nigeria and Africa will work better. And unfortunately, I think that those of them in the Western world don't want Africa to succeed. And I say it categorically.
No, it's a fact.
Right?
That's a fact.
Because as it is now, it's more difficult for you to move around Africa than for you to move from Africa to Europe. You are going to Cameroon, you go to Addis Ababa. What is all this nonsense? And the people that did it with what? Intention. Okay, so yes, it's good that you can't outwork your government. Because no matter how intelligent you are, how passionate you are, you get to a point where the system is trying to frustrate
everything you're doing
completely. And it's, to be frank, it's annoying. Because you know that when a business grows, the economy grows, the people grow. Poverty is taken out. Insecurity reduces. Now you are telling me to come and sink my factory in one local village when there is no security. How does that work? So I will go and use my billion and invest there and sink a factory. And tomorrow I hear that somebody came and carried the head of my generator and I need to buy another one. It doesn't make any sense. So sometimes I'm sincerely praying, and I always hope that we keep growing to the level where we can be part of the people that will shape policies, right? Shape policies for people. There's something that Tony Elumelu said in one of his meetings. He said that, yes, we are in the dispensation of AI, but AI leverages on infrastructure. You can't be talking of AI in Nigeria where you have a electric power supply. Honestly, I'm sure that the power we are using here now, you are the one generating it. Because we could be having this session and then we hear, honestly, that is gone. How can you do that? So there are solid infrastructures that determine or that support these things to grow. And that's what government is there to do. I was going one time from Port Harcourt to Owerri, Imo State. And at a particular road, I saw 3 trucks that fell there. One was fully loaded with PMS. The other one was, I think, is this screeding cement. And I saw one that I think is glass. This is people's money. So when you go to his shop tomorrow and he has added money to a bag of his screeding, you say, oh, why? No, he's trying to recoup his loss. That's bad road that government should have done. See what I'm saying? Creating an enabling environment. That's what they should have done in the first place. But I know it's because of this economic, environmental stifling that makes people to say sometimes, okay, if you can't beat them, join them. So instead of you to put your attention on product development, channel development, and your market understanding and research, you rather go and look for network. Because if you are, let's see as they follow Sheyi Tinubu. Obviously. If I know Sheyi Tinubu, my business don't grow sense. And it's not supposed to be like that. No, it's not supposed to be like that. Focus on value. President Trump called all the major entrepreneurs in America. Mark Zuckerberg was there. Tim Cook of Apple was there. All of them, they were all there. So what are you doing for the economy? That's what government does. What are you doing for it? How much are you investing in our country this year? I think Tim did about $600 billion from Apple. That's what a government does. Not to try to say, hey, this person now. Let's call it big. You do anyhow. They set you up. Before you know it, EFCC is pursuing you. You are just gone.
And that's people are not even comfortable to share what they have in mind, their opinions. So people will not just come for them unnecessarily.
Exactly. It's not supposed to be so. And that is the only way you can preserve legacies, to document it.
Yes.
But if it's not documented, it's dead on arrival. That's why, unfortunately, the only, let me say personally, there are 2 people that have written business books in Nigeria that I really appreciate them. One is Akin Alabi, Small Business, Big Money. That's a very practical book that is worth it. I give Mr. Akin kudos every single day. He was one of the biggest sales mentors that I started following very early.
Very super,
very
excellent
super practical book.
Yeah.
And then the recent one that was written by Femi Otedola, Making It Big in Business.
Oh, you read that one?
Yes. So fantastic book that is practical and has, something you can relate to. And the reason why we don't have many business books from this clan that goes outside is because of this same problem. We have not, the economy, the environment does not let us to practice business the way it ought to be. You get to a level, you forget about the business and pursue network. So that the business can continue standing. If not, they can come crash the business for you. And it's not supposed to be so. That's why it's pretty difficult for us.
So a young entrepreneur is thinking this thing now, that you cannot outwork a failing economy. What's the hope of that person?
Start. There is one thing that works when every other thing is not working. Hope.
Just keep hope alive.
Just keep hope alive. Am I not still working? Are you not working? If we still get to that level where we can't go anymore unless we join, we either pray to join or we migrate and carry our businesses to Canada or to United States of America or UK and go and do it there. But I believe in this country that one day we are going to have a president that can do it fantastically. Look at what is happening in Abia State, for instance. I used to tease my wife that she was the only good thing that came out of Abia State. And she used to frown at it, that why are you insulting my state? Like, because Aba is the economic hub of the southeast, for instance. But prior to this time, if you go to that Aba, you will regret your life. But within a space of 2 years, this current governor, Alex Oti, has come. And I was in Aba in November last year and has transformed.
I heard someone said that if you go to Aba, that you not recognize it again.
It's not fluke. I'm talking from experience. I was in Aba in November last year. He completely has. This happened in 2 years plus, and that same state has been in captivity for 24 years. Recently, what did he do? He abolished the law that empowers former governors, entitles them for pension.
Wow.
Abolished it. Go find work to do after leaving our state. It's not the one you are in office. Before you leave, you have already planned your life.
Honestly,
on government funding.
Funds.
He abolished it. That's sensitive government. If they gave up hope, maybe that what is happening today wouldn't have happened. So I have a huge hope in Nigeria that one day, Nigeria will become the economic hub that we are looking at.
It's a tough one. It's a tall one.
It's a very tough one.
But we believe that with continuous trying, like you said, good governance can change something.
Yes.
Yeah, if Alex could do it within 2 years.
Yes, and you see how they are fighting him.
They are fighting. One thing I'm sure is that there's nothing they can do to him when it comes to the second tenure. They can't do anything about it.
Let me give you an example. That's why I said that Alex's allegiance is to the people, not to politicians.
Yes.
Why? Because it was the people that brought him to power.
They will fight to keep him there.
If your godfather brings you to power, who is your allegiance to? Godfather. That's the thing. That's why if they give us a good political system, Nigeria will work.
Nigeria will change.
Oh my God. Nigeria will, a good electoral system, Nigeria will work. Because we will now have the power to elect who we rule us. And if we say that that person's allegiance will be to the people that elected him and not to the godfathers that sponsored this election. That's what is happening in our state.
Now, if someone can ignore every sales technique that we've mentioned here, what is that principle that guarantees results no matter what?
First of all, I think principles don't just work on their own, right? They are somehow interconnected, right? One of the things I always advise entrepreneurs, and let me say it, this is on camera, one of the reasons why many business owners are not succeeding is what I call multiple sources of income. Yes.
Something that people advise all the time. Are you serious? Okay, break it down why you said that.
So there's a difference between serial entrepreneurship and parallel entrepreneurship. How come? I would have given a small illustration. Is that what multiple sources of income is doing sometimes is, let's say I'm a real estate consultant. I started my business in real estate. I'm learning to sell. I've been selling. Tomorrow, my friend now comes and tells me, I say, there's this business that come out. If you put 200,000 in 5 days, you're likely to get, maybe 1 month, you can get 300,000. I say, and I've been in this real estate for 5 years. I've not made this kind of money. I jump. Tomorrow, somebody now come and organize training on AI. You now jump. How to do prompting and all of them. Jump. You are doing real estate. You are doing AI. You are even a baker. In 10 years, all the 10 of them will be what? Average. That's why I said that you can never be a leader in an industry that you practice part-time. It's not possible. Have you seen a part-time general overseer before? Pope is not a part-time pope. You can't be a pope if you are practicing part-time. You can't lead in an industry that you practice part-time. So one of the problems that so many entrepreneurs in this Nigeria, why they don't succeed, is that they have low tolerance to pain. Right? And because there's so much distractions, opportunities that are looking like a better opportunity than the one you are currently having, you tend to jettison the one you are already in to do another one. So what happens is that this is your third year in real estate and you have not made it. Then another opportunity comes out, maybe in technology or whatever. You jump into it. The bad thing you have done to yourself is that you just abandoned the baby that had the potential to grow, to embrace another baby. And what is your guarantee that the new baby you are adopting, that in the next 3 years or 5 years it will grow? And if you hold on to this baby and hold on to the same baby, your energy level is being unevenly distributed. So you lack that focus of working on something and building it. Guess what? Someone with better focus can come and take that thing you abandoned and make fortune out of it. Are you getting what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I always tell people, many people who say in quote they're entrepreneurs, they don't know what entrepreneurship is all about. They are not ready to build. They just want to hustle and make money. So if I must advise, learn the principle of focus. Whatever you focus on magnifies. Everything you focus on. See, your wife is not the most beautiful woman in the world, but she is to you. Why? You are focused on her. Every other woman outside there doesn't really make sense, unless in economic activity, business partner or colleagues or whatever. But as long as that part, no. So whatever you focus on, magnify. So I'm telling somebody that is listening to this thing, see that your business, focus on it. If it has not grown for the past 3 years, it's not a reason to leave it. It's a reason to ask why. Why didn't it grow in 3 years? If you find out why it didn't grow in 3 years, because there's something my mentor calls neurological pattern. Whenever you perform an activity, your brain records a pattern. If you did that particular job here, shallow, your brain already have patterned you as a shallow worker. Okay, let me tell you, I want to build a multi-billion-dollar media company, right? But at this moment, my job is to handle this camera. But I'm angry. Saying, look at me, I'm handling this camera now. Guy is the one talking to the big men that come, and he has their numbers. Me, I don't have their numbers. This camera thing, I not too like them. Do you know what you're doing to yourself? You're recording a pattern in your brain that does not recognize excellence. If opportunity comes for you tomorrow to finally own the media company, it is that pattern that your brain has recorded that you use in working. And guess what? You don't have the moral standard to scold somebody who mishandles your camera, because when it was your opportunity to handle camera, you mismanaged it. Right? So I tell everybody, see, the reward you will get in your business is not just the money it gives to you. It's the person you become in the process of building that business. That's why when it's working, amplify it. When it's not working, evaluate it. Why is it not working? Anybody that learns to ask the question why always find innovation. I'm telling you, anybody that learns to ask the question why always find innovation. That is why it's important that if it doesn't work, it's not because the idea is bad. It's not because the industry is not good. There's something you are supposed to do that you're not doing. Wow. Right? So my friend casually said that if you know better, you do better, do better. And it's as simple as that. That's why we must grow to that level where we don't celebrate ourselves based on the effort we have put into it.
Yeah.
We celebrate ourselves based on the output. Because whenever the output doesn't give what it's supposed to give, it's time to go back to the drawing table and say why.
Yeah.
Until you get to the last provable point that this business cannot work, don't go elsewhere. However, because of the state of our economy now, where it is that, okay, some people will say, but I need to survive first before I'm building that thing. Oh, good. So if you look at that Aki and Labi's book, there's a place he talked about before you resign a paid job to start your own business. Maybe that's the person's situation. What you need to do is that even if you are doing another business by the side, I always tell my students or anybody listening to me, look at the 3 businesses or the 4 businesses you are doing. Which one would you want to build to the highest echelon? Take the funding that comes from the other ones and put it in that one. Because at time T, you have to exit that one. You know why? Some people say, hey, why are you talking about this thing? Dangote has plenty businesses. Tony Elumile has plenty businesses. All of them, Jimovia has plenty businesses. Listen, diversification does not occur at the bottom. Before diversification is specialization. Right? When you look at Tony Elumile, who do you see? An economist. He was a banker. He learned the rudiments of banking. He didn't start hair holdings when he was a banker. He didn't start Transcorp when he was a banker. He didn't start Transcorp Power when he was a banker. No. He grew into banking, became a top guy, diversified. It's just a simple thing. Poor people don't diversify. You can't have 10 million and you want to start another business. 50 million. The one that made the 50 million, can't he make 100? Can't he make 200? Can't he make 300? Can't he get to 1 billion? Why don't you stay there and build the hell out of that business?
But most of them will tell you that if you look around all the wealthy people we are talking about, they don't have one business.
When did they start having multiple business? That's the question. Did they start at the level you are now that you want to have a second one? You know, sometimes you can't be at grade 3 copying the exam script of somebody at grade 10. It doesn't make sense. You people are not playing by the same book. So sometimes people like to appreciate your current status. They jettison the process that led to that status. At what point? How many businesses now into Amazon? Multiple. How did he get? Did he start all of them at that time? When he was seeking for funding, how many businesses does he want to grow? 1. Did he grow? Yes. Look at how many businesses it has bettered today. Why don't we just learn what is practicable? And you see, at the end of the day, many people pride themselves on having multiple businesses, and all of them are average. Why? There is somebody that, come on, this is just basic mathematics we need to learn in life. It's just like somebody that's in primary 1 and you are seeing me, I'm in SS3. You're not saying that that's Oga wrote WAEC now. That means to go to university you have to write WAEC. Let me write WAEC. Bro, you will not just have F9, you have G10.
It's about building it to premium level first of all.
Build it to one of my friends will say, unless you have 100 million that you are not using, don't start a second business. I don't know if I will adopt his philosophy, but that has some level of sense in it. The problem with this thing is that, see, and I don't blame people so much because poverty is a disease.
Yeah, that's true. It's true.
And that's why government needs to do a whole lot more. Because one of the problems that happens most time, why people put their hand, the fear of failure
survival
is always haunting people. The fear of failure that pushes people into looking for anything that will make them to do what?
Yes,
survive. That's what is pushing people here and there. And because it was in this country that students in SS3 used LAMP to write exam. It was just last year. So because you suffered to get here, everybody coming after you have to suffer. That's one of the problems that is happening. That's why we don't think of curating for the society. Again, let me say it categorically speaking, there's no entrepreneur that thinks about society that play tools. There's always something to do for the society.
The thing for the society, you cannot play too.
That's why we don't have plenty models in business. It's terrible. And some of the models we have in business, their processes are not documented. Why you can't boldly document it. It still goes back to that problem we're talking about. You got to a level where you know that if you can't beat them, join them. Instead of building business processes, you look for a relationship that will cover your back even when evil happens.
Yeah.
Which is not supposed to be so. It's terrible.
So, most times when you share with people all these things you're sharing, most people are benefiting from it. Now let me come to what I will do here, podcasting. How can we scale it? What can a person doing podcast scale it more, generate more revenue?
I don't think that one is what we need to talk on camera here.
That's why I said, why I wanted to share this.
Maybe we can talk now.
It's too unique. I will cut it off. If not, I will leave it for them.
However, I think we can. One of the ways, because the revenue that comes from podcasting is platform dependent.
Yes,
right? Platform dependent, and it's not something that. First of all, I think you have been doing like an incredible job. Like I don't know how to quantify the value of work you have been doing, and you don't know how many people that the products that come out from here have helped them find clarity. And in those days, they would say teachers' reward is in heaven. Somehow, this day, I still believe that thing because, let me just give you, maybe I'm not answering your question, but let me just give you an example. It's different if I come with my phone now and give you buy, I tell you the price, you can just buy it. The reason is because it's something you are seeing. You also know what it can do for you. But one word of direction that somebody receives, the value is more than $1 million. Because you can give him clarity for life. Right? So what you are doing here is legacy dependent. It's not something that ends in this generation. Right? You are building people, and the greatest thing you can give to people is education. That's what you are doing. In fact, I don't want to go deeper again because if you see how some people do charity, you now know that it's not charity. For instance, some of my Igbo brothers, I love them so much. I like what they are doing. Every Christmas we go, we share a bag of rice, tomato, Indomie, blah, blah. Bro, you gave them last year. They are still hungry this year. And that one you gave them will not last them from January to December. I'm not saying it's not good, it's good. But there is a kind of philanthropy or charity that works. It's educating the populace. When you educate the populace. You don't know this man, he said that an educated man is unfit for slavery. Right? Educating the populace is the greatest charity you can do for life. So scaling your podcast, maybe we'll talk. It's a consulting question.
We'll talk that off the camera.
Okay,
now that real estate angle that you mentioned, somebody may not be saying you want to hear tips of it. Can you just share some tip of how someone in real estate can be able to scale?
So the thing is that, let me say it again. If you're in real estate, you have money, come and meet me. However, for those that are maybe the realtors that are doing, one of the things I will tell them is, I call it personality marketing, right? Don't go sharing marketing content the way people have been shared. Just take, take designs, share it, call your name, I'm a real estate consultant, I'm a person of this and that. No, I know somebody that he does his marketing in Igbo. I know somebody that does his marketing in Yoruba. I know somebody that uses pure Hausa to do his marketing for real estate. He's communicating to a target audience. can he expand after? The answer is what? Yes. Right? But if you come into the market and start doing the same way everybody has been doing, you will still receive the same result that everybody has been receiving. So find a way to infuse a personality that is distinct into your marketing campaign. It could be how you start the introduction for your videos. Make it consistent over time. It could be how you end it. It could be a facial expression you do at the end of all your videos. If you make it consistent over time, that's what people will use to identify you, and it differentiates you in the marketplace. Right? So you just have to find something that aligns with your personality, introduce it into your marketing, repeat it over and over a time. It gives you an identity in the market. Right? That's a small one out.
That's a tip. It's okay. Everybody that needs money, come and meet you.
Come and meet me.
Now, there's one big challenge that people face when it comes to sales and marketing, and that's rejection.
Okay.
Very paramount. Most people say, I tried to do this, they reject me. And people are afraid of rejection, fear.
Yeah.
How do you handle rejection in sales?
If you're a salesperson, rejection is one of the... How many classes of food do we have? Maybe 6.
6 classes of food.
Rejection should be 7. And nobody fights with any class of food. They don't fight rejection. Rejection is actually beautiful for salespeople. Because if you don't reject me, I will meet the next person. So I define rejection as rejection is simply an invitation to come back better prepared. So whenever I'm rejected, the first thing I do is I evaluate why. You see, why in business is the most important thing that can happen to any business. Why was I rejected? Is it because I didn't present so well? Is it because the person is not ready now? Is it because he doesn't have the money or what? However, there are 3 factors that qualify a prospect. Right? Because sometimes, because people don't know who their target audience is, they experience plenty rejection because they are even talking to the wrong prospect in the first place. And if just like me now, I said I'm Africa's premium marketing and sales coach, and I live in my village. The best product in the wrong market will always be rejected.
True.
So there are 3 factors that qualify a prospect. Number 1 is that that person has the purchasing power, has the money to buy what you are selling. Number 2 is that the person is in need of what you are selling. Number 3 is that the person is within your reach. I jokingly tell my students that anytime I meet somebody that qualifies, that has these 3 factors, I will not leave that person till Jesus comes. So I mentioned 3: purchasing power, need, and reach. However, need is created by entrepreneurs. Have you gone to the mall before and end up buying something that you never planned for?
A lot of times.
Why did you do that? Because as you enter the mall, they flash those things in your eyes. A desire was created immediately.
Yes.
That is why, let me give you an example. Knowledge enhances desire. Because you can't desire what you don't know.
You can't desire what you don't know.
It's not possible. You can never ever desire a life that you don't know exists.
Yes.
The only reason why you want to be a billionaire is because you've seen those who are billionaires. You see how they fly private jets. If you don't know them, there's somebody who will talk about now and say, do you want a Tesla? They will say, what's that?
It's true.
You can't desire a Tesla if you don't know a Tesla. So why I'm talking on the second principle, which is the principle of need, right? That is entrepreneurs that create needs in the mind of their prospective customers. Customers don't just stay and desire to buy something. You trigger them to desire it. And that's what marketing does. Right? So you can stay today. You see me on Facebook. Let's say you have a business, a real estate business company. You see one of my videos on Facebook. I talked about how to close sales. You see another one. I talked about how to manage objection. You see another one. I talked about how to create customers community, how to build a strong personal brand. You see another. I'm talking to you how to manage public-private partnerships. You take interest. So, who is this person? This thing is talking. You know, before now, you would not even know that there's need for you to have a meeting on maybe how to build a strong corporate brand. But because you have seen me talk about it over and over again, and guess what? I will infuse the factors I listed in the beginning, the factors of fear, the ego, and all of them, the need of human, infuse it into it. And then you pick interest, and one day you are likely to come. Who created that need in your heart? I did. That's what they will do in supermarket and spread everything to you, so that when you come, you'll be confused as to what to buy and end up buying more than what you budgeted for. You get? So on these three things, don't ever leave that person. For rejection, even the best salesman still gets rejected. Because sometimes could be that it's not actually the right time for that person to purchase. He may have the money, he may be in need of it, right? It may still be within your reach, but it's not the time. That's why I say, by evaluating, you must make sure that you are not the reason why people are rejecting you. That means you are not a good product in the wrong market. You are not a good product that does not know how to communicate itself. Very important 2 key points, right? If you fulfill all these things and you are rejected, no problem. Keep that person aside. That's why I say rejection is an invitation for a comeback better prepared. You now know this is the reason, and you can know how you can go and do what? Make the offer, presentation again. But rejection, if you're a salesperson or a business owner, don't ever feel bad because of
someone rejects you.
No. Again, let me tell you the escape route for it. And this is my personal principle in selling. Whenever you are rejected, right? Look for another person who will either reject you or say yes. So if you can continue find a way to increase the number of your probability, you make sales. So instead of you rejecting me, I say, hi, God, and I'll go and start taking them. I look for this brother. If you rejected me, he may not. So I will go.
True.
That's why it's commonly said that rejection is simply redirection.
Yes, it's true.
So you go to another person, go to another person, go to another person, go to another. Sales people are stubborn people.
Yeah.
You can't be successful in sales without being stubborn.
Very stubborn. on that purchasing power that you mentioned, how do you know whether this person has the purchasing power?
So purchasing power somehow talks from language, you can, For instance, okay, let me say this. One of the easiest ways to ascertain a person's purchasing power, right, is to find out his purchasing history.
Okay, yes.
His technique. So let me teach them just one of them, psychology. You're not asking me to be sharing what I always share in my master class.
Of course, it's part of the podcast.
Okay, good day for you guys. Yes. So this is what happens. Let's assume I was having break. I deal on real estate, for instance. I'm coming back to you guys real estate again. And I was just having breakfast at Eco Hotels. I see you there having breakfast. I will presume that you have them, right? But remember, I'm talking about, let's assume I meet you, maybe not in that sophisticated area, but I meet you in a casual place. Let's say a conference or a training program or whatever. And I'm trying to find out your pocket. Number one, I can't come and ask you a question like, how much do you have? That doesn't make any sense. So I'll ask you a question around your purchasing history. And do you know how I'm going to ask? I'll ask it in a way that still massages your ego. I say I meet you for the first time today and I'm asking you, say, how are you doing? Say, I'm fine. Oh, did you just fly into Lagos or you live in Lagos? That question I asked you places premium on you. I didn't just ask you, do you live in Lagos? I asked you, did you just fly into Lagos or you live in Lagos? Nobody flies into Lagos if he's broke. So I just simply told you that you're a very wealthy person. Your response will not determine my next question. Now, for finding out your purchasing history, I'm not going to ask you, so for how long, since you have, look at, I'm making assumption for you. And because I'm making it on your ego, you will fall for it.
Yes, you'll be answering.
Because everybody likes when their ego is being massaged. Every human, whether male or female or even baby, they like when their ego is being massaged. So I ask you a question. In all your years of purchasing real estate, have you ever encountered maybe people that nearly defrauded you? Did I ask you whether you are... This is what I did there.
One psychology question.
Yes. You will know. You say, have I really been defrauded? No, I don't think I've really been defrauded. I say, which area have you been investing? I know whether you buy real estate or
not.
That's how I determine your purchasing power.
Wow, that's an eye-opening angle. Wow.
Yeah.
Now I want us to round it off, but I want to come back to yourself so you can sell yourself much better. In all your years of training and what you have been doing, can you share some practical examples of people that you've transformed their business lives or their careers through your teachings? They have gone ahead to build their revenue.
There are quite many, and I can't mention them. Somebody ran to me one day and told me, sometimes I don't like when people try to make me God in their life, right? It's one of the side effects of what I do. Now, sometimes I begin to understand what pastors go through and some doctors do. Because when somebody is at his lowest point and you came into that person's life and made a way, the tendency that will end, they may start seeing you like God is very high. One of my students did a single transaction of 1.7 billion.
Wow.
He's a Muslim, an Hausa man from Nasarawa State. So I was in Abuja. It was an embarrassing moment. So he came to my hotel and he just ran and fell. I was utterly embarrassed.
Wow.
Because he told me that I've had students that moved from 6 to 9 for God to 10 for God. It's not something I can just give them. And then businesses we have consulted for years. I just thank God for His grace. I don't take credit for it anyways, but I thank God that God can use us as vessels in this dispensation.
That's true. One of my final questions: If anybody didn't take away anything from this message today, what's the cost of not taking away the message?
You die average. Because I'm talking to entrepreneurs now specifically, because that's my congregation. Right? If you don't make society the base of your business, you will die average. And by average is not the amount of money in your bank account. You can be rich in cash, poor in value. Right? Because I tell people that, why do you think God even kept us on this part of the whole creation? And we die very soon. The amount of money you make will mean nothing. The cars you build, the road, at the end, it means just nothing. It's the lives that your business transforms. That's legacy. You just have to find a way to turn away your attention from this whole obsession about your life to making sure that through your business you are reaching to people. That's what will necessitate quality customer service, because you know that for every single one person that patronizes you, you are interacting with a destiny. That's why you don't treat them carelessly. I lodged in a particular hotel in Abuja. I called the laundry guy, come and pick my jacket to iron for me. So while he came, was leaving, I asked him, what time will he be ready? How long will it take? Do you know what he answered me? He said, he didn't even look back. He was walking out. I said, when he's ready, I will bring it.
Wow.
I just felt, you don't know the impact of what you are doing in this business. And you don't know what the business owner is suffering to keep this business running. Right? So, let your business be society-driven. I'm not saying do charity. That's not society-driven. Poor people don't do charity. You should not be poor and be thinking of charity. What I'm saying is, make sure that thing you are doing, your product or service, is transforming life. As you are making more money, think of how to transform more lives. It's not philanthropy. Because sometimes impact to us is, let me close on this. One lady met me one time and said she's in the bank. She's a banker. And she said that she wants to resign, that she feels like she's not fulfilling her, whatever it is, her gift, or she's not making, she used the word that she's not making impact in the bank. So, and I said, okay. I allowed her to finish talking. So I asked her a question. I said, do you know what it means that my mom is sick and I go to the hospital and they ask me to deposit, and I brought out my debit card to sleep, and the debit card is not working because there was nobody in the bank to service that channel. I could lose my mom because there's no banker. Do you know that in the school where I want to make school fees, pay for my school fees, and I could not, my app is not working, and my child is embarrassed, thrown out of school because there's nobody in the bank to service that channel? Do you know what it means for me that I needed to pay my rent and I walk into the bank to make a transfer and there's nobody to give me a transfer slip? And even when I feel it, nobody to process it. How can I live in a house? People don't understand the dynamics of impact. Impact is not when you are shouting and doing charity and talking to people. No. You are part of a system that blesses the society. That's impact. Me that is talking is not greater than the person handling this camera. Because without him handling this camera, this thing is useless. So it's as impactful as I am.
Yeah.
I don't know if you understand what I'm saying.
Sure.
So when I'm talking to entrepreneurs about being impactful, I'm not saying go and do charity. That's not impact. That's foolishness. Social media acceptance. That's what we are pursuing most of these days. In fact, I saw one lady who said she wanted to do her birthday and she now listed and said she wants to go and do charity work. I say you are crazy. You want us to contribute to your damn birthday so that you go and do it, and when you are poor and broke, and after that same contribution, you return to status quo. Next birthday, you come and tell us to contribute because you want to go and do and capture social media and tell us you did charity. Poor people don't do charity. Did you see what Dangote said? He has written it that whenever he leaves this earth, 25% of all his network goes to charity. That's charity. And the biggest, how many people are employed in his company? Who is doing philanthropic work that is greater than the number of people feeding on Dangote's business? That's impact. So entrepreneurs grow. The more you grow, the more impact you make.
Yeah.
That's why you have to be societal driven, not pursuing what does not matter.
Wow. Now, if you're going to sum up everything into some rules of all what we discussed, what can you say are the top 5 that you can say these are the unbreakable guarantee rules that generate sales?
For a business owner, 1, be extremely sure of the value you are creating. Be good. Be good. Are you a tailor? Sew well. Are you a communicator? Learn well. Communicate well. What do you do? Are you a doctor? Be a perfect doctor. Be extremely good. Do you manufacture? Do it well. Be extremely good. Second, because you know what I'm saying that is, you can't be part of the people that are. Let me just forget that. Be extremely good. Number 2, reach out. Make sure you reach out. People don't desire what they don't know, which means knowledge enhances desire. If you never got to see me and see what I'm doing, you won't invite me. If I never got to see what we do, I won't accept the invitation.
True.
Reach out. That means the more you know you have value. Remember I said in the beginning that there is nothing like over-marketing of value as long as you are sure of that value. This water here now, the only usefulness of this water is that I'm drinking it. What if they finish producing it and keep it in their factory? It's useless. So when you are good, put yourself out there. Let more people get to know you. It's very important. That's why I say reach out, right? Then capture. Among the people you reach out, you must make sure that you are tracing a percentage of people that are converting to be your customer. Because the purpose is not just to reach out, it's to reach out in a way that people will be able to trust you and purchase what you're saying. Right? Capture. The last one, retain. Make sure you retain as many people as you capture. And how do you retain? Through excellent quality customer service.
That's 4.
Yes, that's 4. Maybe that 4 will be fine.
That's 4 is okay. It's okay. Thank you so much indeed. You are the sales guru. I really appreciate it. I really appreciate what you said.
Thank you.
Sincerely appreciate it.
Thank you.
You have any final words you want to say to conclude this episode?
As an entrepreneur that is outside there, I'm rooting for you. I know it's not easy. If it's easy, everybody will run now. But it's not easy. So keep building. You fail today, you learn tomorrow. One day I believe that your breakthrough is coming. Your business will expand. It will become a source of strength to a whole lot of people. And at the end of the day, you'll be happy with yourself that you finally built. And the generation that is coming after you will be happy with you. Thank you so much.
And that's it from Udochukwu Chikwendu.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate the sales guru himself. Guys, appreciate my wonderful guest, Udochukwu Chikwendu, the sales guru, for this highly impactful episode. It's an episode that you go and pay thousands of dollars for, to go in a masterclass to learn it. Now you have it here, free of charge. So thank my guest. If you value what we do here, take a moment to hit the subscribe button. And if you know this is going to impact, hit the share button and share it with them. And if you're yet to subscribe. That is how we reach more and more people out there. And also you make the algorithm to also favor this type of content. I remain your very host, Benzik. So thank you for watching. And if you'd like to share, people can reach out to you. Or
check online. I'm online, the sales guru. Just type the sales guru anywhere. You can see me across all social media. And you can check my website, www.thesalesguru.ng. You can always reach out to me. Thank you so much.
The sales guru.
Yes.
Anywhere. So that is it, guys. Well, thank you once again, and I appreciate you for taking the time to enjoy this powerful episode. I'm your host once again, Benzik, and thanks for watching. I'll see you again next time. Cheers.